how did I get these shots with the iPhone 11 Pro Max? That's something that a lot of you asked me, and I'm revisiting this place to show you exactly what I did. We're leaving this place today, so this is the last you will be seeing of this. I mean, come on. So let's switch to the ZV-1 and I'll show you what my moves are. Not like Jagger. Kicking off with the first shot, which is this shot right here of the bench, a close-up, a macro shot nearly. So before I started the video, I pressed my finger on the screen and I kept it there. That locks the exposure and the focus where you are pressing it. And I just tried to move as slowly as possible, like so. And that produced this result. Second shot is a very simple time lapse. I did the exact same thing, locked exposure and focus. I set up my camera right over there, the iPhone right over there, and I was trying to frame my shot somewhat like that, so it was really low. I kept the iPhone with the camera towards the floor of this slide, so it was like that, so that it would get as much of a macro feeling of the bottom of the step. And then I waited and waited and waited, and that was the most boring shot of them all. But when it was done, it was beautiful, and then I could insert it into the application and zoom out, like zoom in the beginning and slowly zoom out as the shot was going on. I kind of liked it. It was a little bit blurry, but it was nice. The next shot was a close-up of those little flowers and that grass over there. I don't know if you can see that. Let me show you that over there. Now for this shot specifically, I set it to the 1x magnifier, like 1x zoom, because it was really important for me to get as much of a shallow depth of field with a fairly wide angle shot. So I couldn't get the 2x zoom like telephoto lens because I wanted to be really close to my subjects, which is like the strands of grass. And that's why I used the 1x zoom lens, which is the best quality lens, of course, that the iPhone 11 Pro Max has. As always, I set the focus and the exposure by pressing on the screen and keeping my finger pressed on the screen. And I set the focus really close this time. While in the time lapse, I set the focus really far. This time I wanted to be really close to get as much of a shallow depth of field and a blurred out background as possible. So I set everything up, and then I moved like a ninja, which is the ninja walk. The next shot is one of my favorites in this video. It's the very swift movement close to the stones on the floor, like the stone floor here. And then I transitioned by tilting up, by tilting up towards the sky to the next shot, which was also a tilt up from the floor. So it was a fairly smooth transition. Always remember to use the correct placement of the camera in regards to your shot. So I wanted to be really close to the floor. I had my camera at the bottom part of the like the device that I was using. I didn't have it flipped up because that would move the camera further away from the floor and reduce the effect that I needed. And here's how it was done. I kind of like the stone structure here. I wanted this to be my next subject, so I panned from the tile floor here towards that structure. So I went like whoop, kind of like that, and then I moved in a circular movement kind of around it in order to create this next shot. What really helped the transition between the two shots be smoother is the fact that the sky is really blue, of course, because you can see that. But then the place that I chose to start the next shot at was also kind of in the shade, so it was also blue. And that really helped smooth out the transition because I made the cut right at the point on the first shot, right at the point that it was pointing towards the sky, and then I made the cut on the second shot. I started it from where it was pointing down, and that ended up being 2 blue shots in succession. Smooth transition achieved. Next couple of shots are pretty easy to imagine. I just wanted to get close-ups of these little purple flowers over here. Is that purple? I'm not too good with color names. My daughters keep correcting me all the time. So that's them. And then what was it? This branch was full of leaves 3 days ago. So I locked my focus and my exposure, and I went for a fairly macro shot on especially the flowers, the purple flowers, and a circular movement around them. That was it. Fairly easy. Same with a big tree over there with the sun at the back. I kind of just went like this. I was too far away to consider this a circular movement. That was more like a pan. But the next shot is the spider web, and this is really interesting. I love this shot. That was a little bit tricky. It is still here. Nothing destroys this spider web. So this one was a little bit trickier because I needed to nail the focus really well for this shot to work. Otherwise, it would be impossible to tell what was happening there. And a lot of the times that I tried this, like not too many, but 3 or 4 times, the spider web came out really blurry and you couldn't, it wasn't a very good shot. So what I did was I locked my focus on the structure itself, right next to where the spider web is grabbing on, and then I framed my shot over here and I moved backwards. So it wasn't like a push in, it was actually a push out, but then reversed it in my editing software. I'm in the shade. I'm on a horse. At least I think that's what I did with the reverse thing. Don't remember too well, but I think that's what I did. If I didn't do that and I did it like in a push in and I nailed my focus first, I was just too lucky. You should reverse the shot. That's a much better trick. Last couple of shots, I believe cinematographers or DPs, directors of photography, call reveal shots. So I was right here, I believe. Let me show you what I was seeing. And I was focusing on this tree in front of me and slowly moving outwards towards the mountain to reveal the mountain. And that's what that looked like. And then the last bit is I was just walking, tilted up as I was walking in order to reveal the stone road, and then panned up towards that, tilted up towards that tree and that wiring, which was not a very interesting shot in my opinion, but it is what it is. And it's out there in the world right now. I kind of like that video. I kind of like the creativity of trying something out as professional looking as I could, given my circumstances, with my phone. I like that. Anyway, I hope you liked this video, guys. Click the like button. It really helps the channel and the video get picked up by the YouTube algorithm. And it gives me an internal algorithmic boost in my psyche. And subscribe to the channel, press the little bell notifications button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you like. That's it. Iris out. Till next time, remember, be kind. I am going to miss this view so badly. There was a boat the other day and it was just as misty. I posted a picture on Instagram, a photo of that boat, and you couldn't tell if it was floating on the sea or if it was flying, because you can't see the skyline, like the horizon. You couldn't see the horizon. And that's one of my favorite effects when it's happening. The mist in the morning, or yeah, usually early in the morning. That's one of my favorite effects while looking at the sea. I'm gonna miss this place. And this is the rainy window. I shot the other day the whole video on this window while it was raining. What a place, what a house, what a view. So many things. So many videos in this house.